Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. This is going to count for tomorrow. We have Bellows Club Whiskey, American Blended Whiskey, blended and bottled at Frankfort and Vermont, Kentucky, under United States government supervision, which all whiskeys are, so that doesn't mean anything. Bellows and Company, an honored name since 1830. Well, I can see that this bottle is a little smudged. Let me go wash it off very quickly. I bought this bottle. Oh, and the competitor is Royale Club. Both of them are 80 proof American blended whiskeys, at least 4 years old. Tell you a story about this real fast. I bought this at International Market in Metairie, Louisiana. I saw this bottle. I could tell it was old. Like you can see part of it down here was like chewed up by either insects or mice, So I said, ugh, and I took the bottle home and I got the water real hot and I got soap and water and cleaned it off very gently so not to tear or damage the paper, which I did not do, but I got it clean. It says straight whiskeys in this product are 4 or more years old, 20% straight whiskeys, 80% grain neutral spirits. Okay. I could tell it was old, but I couldn't tell how old. So I came home and started doing some research. Now there's a code on the back, which would tell me, but the code is mostly wiped off, smudged off. So I started doing research, come to find out that Bellows was bought out by Jim Beam Company years ago. I mean, 50 years ago, something like that. And then in 2015, that's right, 2015, they were sold to Luxco, who makes Bellows today, or at least bottles it. Might still be made by Jim Beam for them. But it's probably made by the Lux Row distillers that Luxco owns over there in Kentucky. But we'll worry about that later. Well, this looked like it's around a 1994 bottle. From the best I've been able to determine, it's probably from around 1994, okay? But it could be older. All right. We know it's not too old because there's no tax stamp thing at the top. There's a UPC code, and they didn't start showing up until the mid-1970s. So I'm going to say 94. I think that's a very good guess. Now, do they still make Bellows Club whiskey? I don't know. The Luxco website is not too elaborate on that product. They make Bellows rum, Bellows blended whiskey, Bellows vodka, Bellows gin, Bellows brandy, and Bellows blended whiskey and straight bourbon. But whether they still make the club whiskey, I don't know. But I know this is from Jim Beam, this one. And it's got the old Bellows logo, which I guess is supposed to be a B for Bellows, but it looks like a housefly to me. But anyway. It was $8.99 for the liter, all right? $8.99 for the liter. Good price. Here's the competitor, Royale Club. I did videos for this whiskey about 6 years ago. 7 years, no, 4 to 6 years ago. I can't remember, but I think about 6 years ago. Royale Club. And I had a little plastic, it might have been 7 years ago, but a little plastic 200 milliliter bottle. And then I saw this glass. I saw that they had this glass one at this liquor store in Texarkana, Arkansas. I saw it on their website. So I said, when I go there in July of 2022, I'm going to buy it. And I did. And it was $6.99 for the bottle. It's a nice looking bottle. It's kind of old style looking. Look like it's from some from the 1950s or whatever. It's got this En Grand Seigneur We proudly display for your recognition our crest of excellence. Its presence is your assurance of a superior blend of whiskeys. Okay. Grand Senor, Grand Symbol. And then it says it's bottled in Los Angeles, California, and in Bardstown, Kentucky by County Line Distillers. You say, well, I never heard of them. Yeah, most people haven't. But if you look at this bottle very carefully at the top in micro compressed print, it's almost you'd have to get a magnifying glass, but I can read it. Guess I'm so used to reading this statement. We love to hear from our customers. Then they give you the phone number and it says www.sazerac.com. I say, oh boy, Sazerac. There's no age statement anywhere on this bottle, which means the straight whiskeys in there are at least 4 years old. The grain spirits might be 4 days old. Let's see. I'm not going to read all of this. They're talking about it's an entity derived by blending, and it goes on and on how wonderful it is. Well, I will read it because there's no website. Royale Club is an entity derived by blending several superbly refined straight whiskeys. So they say they blend several straight whiskeys and grain neutral spirits, each having a special quality of its own, together to achieve a harmonious marriage of these qualities. Thus is created a perfect whiskey which possesses sparkling clarity, mild taste, and more. And then in the background, there's this little emblem that says RC on it, Royale Club. Okay. Bellows is kind of sharp, and it has a kind of an abrasive flavor. It's like wood that's giving you splinters in your mouth. Royale Club is very nutty, like it's got nuts in it. Like, I don't know about almonds or pecans, but there's something. You say, oh, but you can add flavor into blended whiskey. Yes. But there's strict rules about it. You can add flavoring and you can add coloring as long as you follow the guidelines for harmless flavoring and color additives. So the grain spirits do not have to be aged, but they have to be stored in wood vessels. It says that on the Tax and Trade Bureau website. Stored in wooden vessels. You say, what if you're storing it? Wouldn't it be aging? Yes, it would be. If it's in a wooden vessel like a barrel, or it could be a big vat, a big, huge vat. But the thing about it is, honestly, they really don't age them. They just distill the corn. It doesn't have to be corn, but that's what they use because it's cheap. They distill the corn grits. They make a clear, odorless, colorless liquid that you could call moonshine, as people call it. But they can't use it at 190 proof, but you can buy that stuff. So they bring it down to 80 proof with tap water. And they blend it with 80 proof bourbon. Or as they say here, a blend of straight bourbons. Does it have to be straight bourbon? No. It just has to be straight whiskey. Could be straight corn whiskey. Could be straight barley malt, single malt whiskey, whatever you want to use. Now, some people call this stuff brown vodka. They say they're just blending straight bourbon with vodka. Not exactly. Close, but not exactly. Because grain neutral spirits and vodka are not the same thing. Vodka is made using grain spirits. But of course, with vodka, you could use grapes, which they do with Ciroc vodka. Ciroc vodka is made from grapes, not grain spirits. You can use potatoes like they do in Poland and other countries. And if you look at the U.S. Tax and Trade Bureau website, there's two classes of grain spirits. There's grain neutral spirits and vodka. And if you read the description, it's not the same. Similar, not the same. If you want to check that out, check out ttb.com. Scratch that. ttb.gov, gov for government. Okay. You noticed when I held these up, they weren't the same shade. One was a little darker tan. I don't remember which one was darker tan. Maybe that's a good thing. I have a lot of blended American whiskeys to do against Royale Club. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I have them. I have them. I have them. All right. Cheers. Whoops. I'm sipping it. I'm trying to smell it right now. Now remember, Scottish, Irish, and Canadian whiskeys are operating on the same principle as what I'm testing right now. But with one big difference. In those three countries, Scotland, Canada, both in the Commonwealth, Ireland, no longer a part of the Commonwealth, except for Northern Ireland, which is still a British territory. All of those components have to be aged at least 3 years. All of it, the grain whiskey and the single malt. Whereas in the U.S., you're allowed to dump. Let me use the right terminology. You're allowed to blend in. I can't use that word. You're allowed to blend in unaged grain spirits. It isn't whiskey yet. If you left it in a barrel for a period of time, it would be a whiskey, not straight whiskey. If you left it in a charred oak barrel, never before used, for 2 years, it would be straight bourbon. All right. So that's the point. It's unaged. It's raw. It's grain neutral spirits. There's no aroma and no flavor. The flavor comes from the straight whiskeys that are blended in. At least 20%. Could be higher, but it has to be a minimum of 20% and no lower. And since they're straight whiskeys, they have to be, we know, right? Charred oak barrels, unless it's corn whiskey, which means it has to be uncharred, and aged at least 2 years, whether it's corn whiskey or bourbon. All right. They can have coloring. They don't have to have it. They can have flavoring. They don't have to have it. It's the option of the distiller. That's got that little funny monkey smell. Funky monkey smell. I can't even hardly describe. It's like a sharp something to it. It's almost like mint. You say, oh, I bet they're not adding peppermint. I bet they're not. Wouldn't it be bizarre if you found out they did? I gotta start over. Because when I looked through the glass, I could see the tag backwards, and I knew what it was frontwards, you know what I mean? And I'm not running no flim flam challenge on this channel. I wasn't even gonna play it off like I didn't notice it. I noticed it. Mark Lockwood says, just started raining in Derbyshire, England, first drop in 9 weeks. Golly, what a drought. Bane says, hello. Hello, Bane. Sorry about your back. All right. Oh, no, I mean, I'm sorry about Batman's back. What am I thinking? You broke his back. Okay, well, he wants to be on the streets fighting all these criminals, so that's what happens. Nuttiness. And nuttiness. Okay, all right. So we got like a generalized corn aroma. Corn, like cornbread, corn grits, corn. And a nuttiness. Okay, so that's a good start. Spencer Torok says, hello, Jay. Hope you are well. I am well. Thank you. I did a duo review of my friend David. Then the air conditioner clicked on. It was really loud. So I was like, come on, we got to hurry. We got to hurry because it's too loud. It ruins the video. It's effective. It's a great air conditioner, but it's loud. And he was wanting to go on and on about what is an IPA. So people know about that argument. They've heard that. We've talked about it before on the videos. you know, and it's like a big controversy, and I didn't want to go into it really, you know. So I want to cut that grass. I got to do mine, but I'm gonna wait. I'm like Michael Corleone. I'm gonna wait. Hopefully the rain will wait. Sweet, like sugar water, but you know, bourbon would be like that. Candy like caramel candy. Yeah. Huh. Hmm. Tastes pretty good. Not so sweet. Oh, it's got that sharp bite, 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 bite. Oh, they must be cutting across the street. Okay. I'm gonna squeeze out 2 more days on this yard though. I'm gonna squeeze out 2 more days. You say you're cheating. You're trying to drag it out. I am trying to drag it out. All right. This bite, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why I don't see club whiskey anymore from Bellows. Maybe they stopped making it. Maybe they said, you know, this recipe is nasty. Let's drop it. And then they all sat around the table and said, yeah. It's like a rotting more. I got to be careful in this one though, because these things could be tricky. Yeah. No, but I think I'm getting that caramel, that nougat, like I said in the bourbon series, and like a nutty nut oil. Like if you took walnuts and got the oil out of it, or pecans. Pecans would be very oily. If you crack pecans, your hands would be covered with oil. Fingers, I mean, be covered with oil, and it'll smell like that a little bit. Now, can you fry in pecan oil? What do I know for frying? Even if I did, wouldn't even matter because the other thing, you know, I don't know much. The only thing I know about frying is you put the oil in the pan and you fry it. Okay, you know what I mean. You heat it up, and you got to change it so it doesn't get rancid, which it will do, or nasty. Yeah, this is smooth, nice, mild, mellow, relaxing, pleasant. This one, kind of harsh, even though they're both 80 proof and they're aged 4 years or longer. This has got to be the stinking club whiskey. Oh, but it's the Royale Club. That's a shocker and a bad way to start. A shocker and a bad way to start. Now, I just said how nasty the club whiskey was from memory and so forth, and now I'm picking it as the good, smooth, pleasant, nice one. Well, 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 what do you know? Oh, well, too bad for you, Royale Club. Could be a lot of badness coming up the next 2 weeks, a lot of unpleasantness. Um, eh, is what it is. I was careful when I poured them. I don't know. I don't know, but I got nothing to say. I'm just going to bring in the regular Bellows blended whiskey. There's another one called Bellows blended whiskey. I'll bring that one in Thursday, and we'll see. I'd like to make a prediction, but the way I'm feeling right now, I don't feel like I better be making any predictions. I better cool it because it's kind of tough. I got to go back and look at my records, see how I did in my bourbon taste challenge. I know I got 3 wrong. I want to see how many I got right. It almost tastes like some old wood, like old. Moldy wood. Yeah, like moldy old wood. Old moldy wood. You say, old moldy wood. I tried Jim Beam a few times and it tasted like old moldy wood, so I don't know. Maverick Mason says, I have been looking for Bush Ice for 6 years. I've been looking for it for longer than that. And the only time I ever find it is on a road trip. And I did not find it on the last 4 road trips this year. I went on 4 road trips this year. Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida. Never saw Bush Ice the whole time. Nah. I've seen Bush Ice in Texas in the past. Didn't see it this time. I was very disgusted. Disgusted. All right. Well, okay. Sorry to start off with a flop, but it's the way it goes. I'll try to pin it down. So in this case, I'd rather get the Royale Club. Rather get the club whiskey, the Bellows Club whiskey, which I never thought I'd be saying that. And at the same price, about $7 a bottle. Talking about regular size bottle, $7 a bottle. So, David Simmons. Good afternoon, Ronald. Enjoying the Elysian pumpkin pack. Oh yeah, I saw that at Dorgnax about a week and a half ago when it was just August, just becoming August. Might have still been July. Let's see. No. It was August 6th. I saw it. I think that Dark of the Moon stout is probably my favorite of the 4. Dark of the Moon. I liked it. I think my favorite is the original one. What's it called? Night Owl. But they're all good. There's not a bad one in the batch. There's not a bad one. It's just 4 different types, and then you pick which one you think is the best, the second best, third, and fourth. But either way, however it goes, you're getting good product. And it's still $18.99. Or maybe $19.99. But I think it was $18.99 at Dorgnax. I came so close buying that 12-pack. Bane's laughing. All right, so, well, sorry, y'all. I failed, but that's the way it happens sometimes. So Royale Club had a less appealing flavor, but I thought it was the Bellows Club whiskey. So get ready for Bellows regular old blended whiskey coming up versus Royale Club. And then we're going to branch off to to New Jersey. We're going to drink a New Jersey bottled whiskey. You say New Jersey? I didn't know they bottled whiskey in New Jersey. Yep, a New Jersey. I didn't say it was made in New Jersey. I say bottled there. From Laird's. I've unfortunately never gotten to try the Bush Ice regular. Bush is my go-to beer. And it's not really that much different than natural ice. I don't even know if I'd be able to tell them apart in a blind taste test. So if you can get natural ice, you do. I've been getting natural ice glass bottles at least. Oh, the glass bottles. Been 10 years since they sold those over here. 10 years. I can go to Baton Rouge and get glass bottles, but they're quart bottles. Not the old 12-ounce round ones. Okay. Well. So I'm 0-1 now in this taste series. 0-1, 0-1. I'll try to keep track. I'll probably lose track though. 0-1. 0 wins, 1 loss. All right. Thanks, y'all. Take care now. See you later.